so here we are on the coast of Brazil. We went for our early morning walk to the sea. We dove into the. It's not cold anymore these days. It's like it's getting warmer, even though we're headed towards winter.
Yeah, this week is 4 or 5 degrees warmer than last week.
And as soon as I got in and walked out, the perfect wave just came up to me, and I just floated into shore. It was great. There were a lot of good waves this morning.
Then I beat you because I got the longest one today.
Whatever makes you feel better, my friend.
Victory!
Someday we'll talk about the difference between honor, pride, and false pride. False pride being when you invent a false reality to feel better than. All right, so...
Someday.
Anyway, so Hans has come with a lot of energy this morning, and it's around this topic of how, when we talk about on this podcast about being brothers, being allies, and one of the most challenging things is to go back for a brother who's so, let's say, in his cave, or
yes,
he's so far asleep, so far apart from being like ready, like awake in his life, like in his power, and he's built a cocoon for himself. And as his ally, as his brother, like I know that if he could wake up and face himself and his greatness and his values and his people, that he would want to answer the call, that he would. But his first response to you when you come for him is, I'm good, I'm okay, tomorrow, I'll call you this weekend. And he doesn't call, and then it goes back to the cocoon.
Well, if you say one of the toughest things is how to go back for a brother, but to me it's a frustration. That's what it is. It's a frustration to see.
Bring up your specific example.
Yeah, well, I'm going into it, but I want to see what my trouble is there. Okay, I'll give you example. No, I'll continue with what I'm saying. To me, it's a frustrating thing. It's a frustration to see someone who hears the call. You can see they're hearing, because that's what we're doing. That's what they're hearing. Not just us calling, but they hear the call of something greater, something more adventurous, something more honorable, something more in line with their own values. You can feel. They sense something is off in their life. Otherwise, they wouldn't contact me, So they are the ones, they kind of hear something, they hear a call, and they reach out in the sense of, help me, It's like the phoenix in the cave is like calling us, hey, I think I want to get out of the cave. And we're like, yeah, man, we're right here. That's what we do. I love it, because with that, we put out that call, so we're here. So I show up, and I show up and I show powerfully and I say, yeah, man, that's the call. That's the call. And you're the one, and I can see it. It's, otherwise you wouldn't call for me, and I'm ready. I'm ready to go. And I present it and I'm right there. Oh, fuck, man. And then you show up at the cave, you climb there, you show up there, you're there with him, with the phoenix. You say, yeah, let's go. And he says, sorry, I changed my mind. I'm gonna go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, huh? Wow. I see it almost now. It's not like hard to go back for a brother and save him. It's almost like you feel betrayed by him going back into the cave. It's like in the Matrix. There's this one guy there's the one guy who chooses to go back, and it's betrayal to all the others.
Yes.
And that's how I feel. I had a call with Keto. Call him Keto since 2 days. And he came to me with a situation of a woman. What do I do? And I told him, here's what you do. This is the medicine, and you have to go on this journey. You have to go. And I know he sees it. He hears it. He sees the call. And I've been following for 10 years what I'm doing, you know. So he knows, and I help him.
Let me just stop you right there. He what?
He knows that there's.
He what?
Well, he knows exactly. He's
right, but listen, ally.
Yes.
Because the challenging part is the rejection. They'll turn you away. They'll betray. They'll turn you away. They'll turn you away. And it's like in the face of what you feel, who are you now?
Yes.
And who are you now for them?
Yes.
And it's incredibly challenging. It's a great path of transformation and growth, though.
But I have no trouble. I sense like I'll always be an ally. It doesn't depend on what he does. You know, I show up as an ally.
Yes.
This is a call to greatness. That's all there is to it. It's a call to greatness. I'm not asking you to, you know, I'm putting out a call to greatness, and I'll keep putting out the call to greatness. But the betrayal is almost like I sense, fuck, you know, I could have used this time to save other brothers who need me more. You know, brothers who are very motivated and dying on the battlefield. And you took my time. I have to climb up all the way on this cave here, you know, and come and save you. And then you go back to fucking sleep while I was on this battlefield, you know, saving real brothers who got limbs cut off. You know, I'm being graphic too.
Well, first,
but
I mean, if you'd come to him face to face with that kind of energy and that call out, that's one thing. But all you do is send a text message.
Yes, but
so it's very different. It's very different.
As true as that is, you know, I'm not like the experience has been the same with speaking life to people. You know, they ask for help, they signal.
But first, that's an important distinction. It's not the same as those other experiences where it was live. You didn't bring that energy to him. You might have felt it when you were typing.
Well,
but
I felt it. I did calls with him. You know, so I did the same thing on the calls with him.
Yes.
You know, what I'm saying is.
And even then, it's not the same as being live. Just saying.
Yeah. There's a. What would I say? It's not. I'm gonna keep showing up as a ally, but there's managerial issues of time. That's the thing. There's a way of only showing up as an ally and only putting out the call. And not trying to convince, which is something certainly for me I can learn, you know.
Yes.
To see that this guy kind of says he's ready, but he's not.
Yes.
And you better, you know, if you want me to come up to that cave and help you, you better tell me clearly that you're ready to do this, that you want this, you know.
Yes.
Because I want allies, you know, and I want this army, and sometimes it blinds me to think, the guy's ready. You know, he sees the light. He wants to go out of the cave, and he's not. And much love and not a problem. But I will not waste my precious time and energy to you right now. You know, because there's other guys who are ready, and I'm going to use my time for them. You know, and that's something I can learn.
Yes, I get that. Yeah, we can all choose our path of which way do we want to learn and grow, right? Like you could learn in that direction of I'm not going to push. I'm only going to work with those who are ready. But imagine, you know, like you went to go be with Zan. Imagine you show up on his doorstep one morning. The sun's coming up. Come on.
Right.
And you don't leave. You know, just imagine
it. Just sitting outside.
You call me. I'm here. Right? And
across the street on the
now on a business level, you know, because you're talking about people who are considering having you be their mentor, right? I'm not suggesting that you do that necessarily, but imagine the difference in really showing up, because there's been guys in my life now, and it's different. Like my younger brothers, right? I really wanted to go be an ally for young men about the age of my brothers and younger. And I took off in the van, and I left them back in Austin, you know. And I'm going to go travel the country, and I'm going to wake young men up and stuff. And then I was like, my brothers, you know? Yeah. But the way that they were, it didn't occur to me that they wanted to be woken up. You know, they were content with their video games, smoking weed, hanging out, goofing off. It didn't occur to me. But I was like, okay.
Well, they are your brothers.
Yes.
That's a big thing. They
It
are
is.
your brothers.
It is. And on some level, it's also a choice.
Yes.
You know, like how many guys out there, you don't have brothers, right?
No.
You don't have real blood brothers.
No.
Or younger brothers. But what if you just adopted one
Right.
or two, you know? What do you say? Okay, all right. Like imagine that you don't have a, like you don't have a choice or they don't have a choice.
Yes.
You're just going to adopt them, you know? And this is, you know, with my my former business partner, there's so many times when
Bardia, maybe it's you, my younger brother.
there's so many times when he pushed me away, pushed me away, pushed me away, pushed me away, you know, and it helped that we were in business together because we have to, you know, no, we can't give up. We have to keep going, you know, but in a lot of ways, I think what's called for, if we are to have a future of real brotherhood and a different possibility for humanity reclaiming, like imagine a culture of honor and brotherhood and is to say, okay, maybe this way of just treating people like prospects, customers, employees, fellow taxpayers, you know, all these labels that we have, like maybe we have to raise up the level of like who we are for each other. And that's often where I go when it's like, who am I for someone? You know, when I think of ally, I often think of like, as to me, it's like being a brother. I'm your older brother. Okay. You piss me off, you reject me, you betray me, you whatever. And who am I for you now? Because, like with my brother Dave, there was a time when I'm not going to go into the whole story, but I was really extending myself on a daily basis to show up for him. And he pushed me away, pushed me away, pushed me away. And I was showing up really powerfully for him. And I was waking up a half hour earlier, driving a half hour across town, going into his house, and he'd still be asleep, and I'm there to support him on his dream to be a boxer, you know?
He's sleeping.
And I'm challenging him like he's the fucking champ, and I'm turning on the Rocky music, and I'm pushing him hard, and he's fighting back, but I'm still pushing him, like I'm treating him like the champ. I'm not treating him like little brother, I'm treating him like the champ. And after a while being pushed away, not like respected or appreciated in my stand for him, finally one Sundays when I would evaluate like my life and my rituals and what am I doing, I'm like, what am I doing? He doesn't want this. And then I realized, like I saw a pattern, I realized he's pushed all the guys in his life away who've come in as like older mentors, coaches, and you know, his dad left home when he was 10. I left home when he was maybe 13, 14. And I realized like, yeah, this is what he does, you know? And if I don't stay, he's gonna keep doing that, you know? And I just saw I saw the difference from my brother if I stay and stand for him versus I don't. I saw it completely transforming his future. And I said, I'm going to be the one who stays. And that was all I needed, you know? So I was like, oh, I felt that honor inside, you know? I doubled down, and I went in the next morning. More powerful than ever! You know, not taking anything. And I don't know if it was that morning or soon afterwards. And you're even more vulnerable when you go in like there's nothing going to stop you. And he reacted at some point that made me want to turn and walk out that door. And I turned to walk out the fucking door. I started heading towards that door, and I remembered who I am for him. And I was just like, and that's the honor just called me, just like the honor grabbed me by the shirt, turned me right back around, and I'm not leaving, you know. And I faced him, and I told him who I am for him. It was so powerful, and then we kept training, you know. And so I bring that up because I'm not saying that obviously you can't do that with all of the guys who potentially it could come work with you, but imagine I don't know, a way to have a more intense engagement with them, or a way to, I don't know, just stay for them, or whatever. Like, it's yeah. But the challenge is enormous to, you know, and obviously I'm older brother, and so I feel more of like a responsibility. But to me, there's almost like no greater like honor than like, I know, like, I'm not gonna leave any of them behind, ever, you know, and it gives me also more freedom to be combative with them, to fuck with them, to whatever. Like, I know I don't have to tiptoe, you know, because I'm not leaving. And if someone needs to make it right, if someone needs to ask for forgiveness, if someone needs to change his ways, like, I'll do it, you know. So, but it's powerful, and yeah, like, I know it was that time in '94. My brother, he was in university, had gone out to work with my dad for the summer, and he was writing me letters. This is before email and stuff. He was writing me physical letters. It's like, Mike, help. Dad's trying to get me to go on the mission. You know, we grew up Mormon, and my dad is trying to work him into going on a 2-year mission, and I feel conflicted because I don't want to interfere with what my dad, you know, is calling him to. And if my brother really, maybe that's the path for him, I don't know. But my brother's calling to me. And I dropped everything and went out there for that summer. And I could have written back like a message, like you texted this guy or whatever. I could have told him on the phone or something. But it's a whole different thing, like, to go and just be there with him. And I woke up in the morning with him. I went out to work with him every day. I went to the gym with him, and I was there with him. And that, more than anything, was, and it basically, it's just like, Dave, whatever you choose, I'm here for you, man. If you choose not to walk that path that Dad wants you to walk, or that he thinks you should, you want to walk your own path, like, I'm still by your side, you know. So, yeah, and often in my adult life, that's been more important to me than business success or whatever. Is such a great, I don't know, honor in it, and I don't know, sense of mission and all that, than having a business work. So, yeah.
I was also wondering, because when I see this happening, what I described at the beginning, I feel an enormous, like, a frustration or an anger, but it's a very strong energy. And I'm wondering how constructive and or destructive that energy is or can be, or have to channel it, you know. And with all the articulations of it, you know, like, I can see myself at some point saying to, like, yeah, I'm an ally, and fuck you, you know.
Yes.
Like, and like, for myself in my journey to make a stronger call, to be a stronger ally, you know, what's the role of that? You know, how can I use that?
What is your desire under that anger?
My desire is for him to answer the call.
Why?
Because I want allies next to me. I want fellow warriors.
Say that again.
I want allies. I want fellow warriors. I want to.
I'm just curious about that for you. Like, I think there's that energy.
Yes.
You know? It's also something that you really desire.
Of course, yes. And it's also the reason why I have been blind. Yeah, I'm thinking, he needs my help. I'm there, and he's not really. It's like he was just in his dream saying something, or how? Oh, what? I'm coming to rescue.
Yes. Yes.
And
there's what I'm inviting you into is just like a softening and a presencing to that desire, that vulnerable desire that you have for allies,
right,
brothers. Connect with that, because it's a beautiful thing, and the anger can be like a more just outward expression of it, but that we talk about tazao, right? The tazao in your heart to have brothers.
But there is, yes, there's a very interesting personal quest for me. What I'm bringing to the table is this. We've been saying a very positive thing. This is a call to our brothers. And yesterday someone wrote, what we really are is in denial, and that completely resonated with me.
Someone wrote what?
Nico wrote, what's happening is a lot of us are in denial.
Yes.
And I said yes, and I was thinking, if I bring that to someone, you are in denial. Is that me self-righteously feeling the anger of them not answering the call, or is it having that anger, showing up as an ally, and can it be constructive as well to say that? That's what I'm.
Well, I can tell you that I would respond powerfully to it, positively. But not everyone is like that, or is that a place in their life where they would?
Right.
Like, I pride myself in facing everything. And
Hey, Lucia.
I like to be called out because it's a challenge to step up. Mm-hmm. It's like, I pride myself, and there's no, there's nothing I'm not going to face and then rise to meet, and, but imagine someone who is already waking up to a world of self-judgment, and everyone else is judging them, and they agree with everyone else that they're shit, that they're not answering the call, and they're whatever, and then someone just piles on. It's like, well, yeah, I know I'm shit. Thanks for reminding me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, this is a great challenge to learn the art of calling a brother to rise up, because everyone's different, everyone's in a different place, and now, generally speaking, first of all, text messages, it's a really low chance of effectiveness just sending a text of any difficult conversation, right? Because they can't see your eyes, they can't hear your voice, they can't, you're not there physically, and they can interpret, they can imagine any kind of intention behind the words, right. And any kind of judgment that they want to imagine, any kind of like he could read those words and imagine that you don't believe in them.
Well, I 100% agree, and I'm very I want to be careful, because I feel if we focus on those things, that we're missing the real issue, which is like some things work and some things don't work, and it really depends on where someone is as well. Of course, the medium and all that, but even then, even if it's the phoenix in his cave, and I walk all the way up to the cave, and I climb in and I say, hey, let's go.
Yes.
And then I go back to sleep. That moment, that encounter is interesting to me.
Yes.
And like, what was it? What did I hear? Were they really calling for my help? Was it just me really wanting brothers?
Yes.
Going there? What's going on when I show up in the cave and I say, that's the call answered? That's the bigger thing. And like, is every phoenix different? And how do you know that?
I think the more important thing is, who are you when they turn you away?
Yes.
In other words, are you committed? Are you committed to rising in your level of commitment
Yes.
to being an ally, your skill, your mastery of it? This is the most important thing. That
Yes.
question you have is a great inquiry that's not going to be answered by a simple answer, but it's a great inquiry that can lead you on a path to increased mastery
Yes.
in being an ally, being a leader, being a transformational
Putting out the
leader.
stronger call, all of that.
I can tell you, like, and it can be a shitload of fun as well.
This is fun, you know. I really think this is like this whole thing, and seeing myself having that energy, realizing that it's because of my own like desire and my lifelong desire to have brothers, you know. How many times have I done it, you know, to make that same mistake, you know? Yeah, let's go together. Yes, let's do it. What? I'm alone.
Yeah.
It's of course, you know, and I think that's a great journey, and I love it. You know, I'm not complaining.
Well, there was one Saturday morning on this was in '97. My three younger brothers had we were splitting up, so I went back for them. I inspired them with everything I had about the vision of being an entrepreneur and that they could do it, and I brought all my aliveness to that, and they said yes, you know, and it's so great, man. And so we're on this journey, and it was intense, man. We're meeting before the sun comes up, intense physical exercise together, the fucking rage against the machine, the fucking hardcore accountability, the going out and knocking on doors, facing all the fears like there is nothing that can stop us. Every upgrade, it was fucking amazing. And there was one, it was Saturday or Sunday, I don't remember. And it's like they could have been out working, and they were sitting around watching TV. And like we had this networking voicemail system, and you know the level of intensity was high that we had created and that I'd brought, you know.
Walkie-talkies.
Yeah, and I knew that they were sitting around watching TV, so I put on my my rollerblades and my Rage Against the Machine in my ears. I got a hammer, and I rollerbladed across town. You know. You get a lot of adrenaline, you know, rollerblading through the streets of the city and dodging cars, going down hills and whatever. And and plus you're working
with a hammer in your hand,
right? I arrive at their place, throw off my rollerblades, bust through the door. They're all three sitting around there watching the TV, and I come through with the hammer and with a big swing like this, for effect. Explode the TV. You know, and they exploded. They were pissed, especially my brother John.
You broke the TV.
Yeah. But I did it for effect. And like in that moment, did they like go, "Oh, thanks, Mike. Whoa! Let's go fucking knock on some doors. Let's fucking yes!" No, they didn't. But it was epic,
Good point.
man. It
Good
was
point.
epic.
Good point.
And then so now they're pissed at me. Right? They're pissed, whatever. And I left. And I went home. Mission accomplished. But it didn't change my commitment to have whatever tough conversations we need to have after that or whatever. To still bring, I'm fucking here, man. Let's go. And not to see them as their reactive selves. I see their greatest selves. And if you keep speaking to that and you don't these guys, maybe they react or they don't respond or whatever. Don't start concluding that they are less than. See their greatest self and keep speaking to that guy.
Okay, is that a choice or is it also an experience?
Because it could be tempting, and I know sometimes you do, and we all do. Like, man, fuck that guy or whatever. You know, that's the challenge. You can't accept that the guy he's trying to pretend he is who he is. That is not who he is.
And you see that you could say every man has it. Can you see it in every man?
Yeah, well, I just, human beings in general. Mm-hmm. It's no, because this dynamic of putting ourselves to sleep and pretending we're someone less than we are, that's what we do. That's the ego. That's the positionary ego. We want to build this cocoon and act like we're this, you know, and this smaller version of ourself might also be, the smaller version of ourselves is also something that can like look down on us,
Right.
and look down on that, Hans, you know.
Because you have the situation like with Keto and Fabian, who I've been talking about the past 2 days, you know. And Frank said I can use his real name. So Frank, and because I get the message, like I put out the call and I say I see it and let's go, you know, and it's been going on, and the guy would go, yeah, interesting, thank you, not right now, okay. There's two ways of reacting to that. As an ally, even you could say no, we're coming with, you know, we're going out the cave and we're going to fly.
Yes.
Or you could say, okay, you're not ready yet, and that's cool. And whenever you're ready, I'm here.
Yes.
You know, and that's like I have to decide in that moment, what do I do here?
Yes.
And is that a practical thing? Because it comes with like me thinking, oh, am I doing enough? Am I really showing up as an ally? Well, you know,
Yes.
and I don't like.
Well,
you don't really know.
Well, also like looking back to our history, like when we first met, you know, I showed up at one of your events in Malaga in Spain, and if I had given you a call out right away or said let's do business together or something, I don't know how you would have responded, but it was a lot different after we had more of a shared history together. We had more trust.
Right.
You know, we'd been through some conflicts. We'd been down the road a ways.
Right.
So I think there's often just that period of building trust and showing, because you have to, because there's a lot of these guys out there have been, and I want to say it like this, have been violated by other men. And I don't mean sexually, although some of them have sexually or physically or whatever. And you showing up powerfully, imagine a dominating authority in their life, because it's full of these, you know, especially in our modern culture, it's different from like a Native American back in the day kind of authority, which is, I don't know how much I want to go into this, but it's more of like the authority is within, and I grant you authority to speak for me if I feel that you have me in your heart. It's not this kind of submission to an external authority that most of us have that kind of relation to external authority. So imagine for a lot of these guys, the way that you show up might remind them of an older brother, a father, a teacher, a boss, or whatever, that didn't really, really, really care about them.
Right.
That didn't really have their best interests at heart, and that pushed them into things that they were not, that they didn't want to do. And so, it's the flying pig thing, right? It's like you need to pass the test that you're not those other guys, that you see them, that you know. So there can often be just
I think my only, like my compass in it, or the thing I have to hold dear to, like I can't solve that, whether I should stay or say or drag them or say I'm here whenever you need, you know. I can't solve that, like trying to understand what's going on for them. The only thing I can do is hold really dear to my intention and my stand, you know, of being an ally, showing up as an ally, and really get clear on that, and see where it leads me, you know, the practicalities of what I do in one certain moment, you know, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? And it doesn't really matter.
And it's, I would invite, you know, guys who are listening to this, considering this, and maybe they don't have a younger brother to go back for. Maybe they, I don't know. We get very individualistic, very atomized, very kind of separate in our own worlds. We have our own space. We have our boundaries. We have our, you know, especially in the West. You could just consider going back for a guy for no reason.
Wow, yeah.
Just no reason.
Well, it's
maybe, or someone that you've judged, and you have all the reason in the world to say, fuck that guy. Fuck him. maybe just do it just for the fuck of it, not because he's earned it, not because he deserves it.
But what it's gonna do with you?
Yeah, you could do it to learn and grow about this. You could do it just for the hell of it. You could do it for the adventure. You could do it just to be someone on the planet who is gonna choose love. Is gonna choose.
Gives a fuck.
Someone to be the one who gives a fuck. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the person that's turning you away is not just turning you away. He's probably turning most other people in his life away who would call him to be greater. Someone's turning you away, they're hiding, not just from you, it's not personal, right? They're hiding from the call. And so to be the one, imagine that in the future, the way they tell the story is, and then like if not for Hans, right? I don't know where I'd be, you know. Right. But he came back for me, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to go back for a brother, and it's an integral part of the, you know, I'm turning this into like a Ronin Radio podcast, but I'm thinking of like a Ronin Brotherhood, you know, a membership where it's part of what we do is we go back for our brothers, and we take on the great challenge of that, you know?
I see us coming into houses, you know, guys are still sleeping, we're standing there next to the bed. Hey, wake up! Get out of my house! No, man, I'm here to save you.
Yes.
Oh, man. Yes, going back for a brother. For Neo who's watching, Neo, we know you're out there. You are the one. What? I should say it clearer? We know you're out there, Neo. You're the one.
Your face appears so much bigger on my